Key point is to decarbonize our society, our economy. This means being more efficient in use of energy resources, avoiding unnecessary waste of energy, using more efficient processes and equipment, but also to switch from fossil fuels to non-fossil fuels. And this is particularly relevant in the transport sector because nowadays, as you know, our transportation system is mainly based on oil products, and we have to move away from oil products to electricity. We have to decarbonize electricity. We need green electricity, electricity with a low content of CO2 per kilowatt hour. That's why the electricity sector will play an even more important role in the future than it has played in the past. It's not only the transportation sector, it's also in many other applications, and then don't forget that more and more our life, our society, our economy relies on information technologies, communication technologies. The electricity markets we have are supply-side markets. They are not normal markets in the sense that in the normal market you have both supply and demand. The new technologies, the new information and communication technologies enable demand to participate in the markets. And so even without the policy goal of decarbonizing the electricity sector, just for the benefit of a better functioning electricity markets and energy markets in general, it would be extremely important and urgent to enable demand to participate in the markets. Now, what we need for this to happen, we need basically, I would say, three things. First one is the technology. Well, we have the technology, or we have the technologies that allow us to do that. Second, you need a legal and a regulatory framework that allows these technologies to be implemented and to be used, giving the right economic incentives and also defining the necessary appropriate rules for the use of these technologies and the use of data. And the third factor is behavior, as you said, is the willingness of the consumers to play and to use these new technologies. There have been lots of studies have been performed to better understand consumer behavior. This will still last. We will have many surprises, but one thing is for sure, with the new technologies, with internet in particular, there are lots of new possibilities which not only empower the consumers in terms of how and when to use energy, but also give them the possibility of improving their comfort by remote control of their device. They are being used already in many countries by many people, but they have not yet been implemented at a large scale. This revolution that will happen has not yet happened, and one of the problems we have is a wrong perception about the costs and benefits of these new technologies, and the fact that the opponents of the introduction of these new technologies tend to ignore the fact that the lack of information we have today has a cost. And these new technologies, in fact, will reveal information, will bring information not only to the consumers, but also to the suppliers, to the network operators. And this information enables us to optimize the use of the available resources, not only the consumer, but also the supplier, also the network. So society as a whole will win from this deployment of new technologies. And this is then the most cost-effective way to cope with intermittent generation. So demand response is technically possible and is economically interesting, and it is the right answer, the needed answer to two major concerns we face nowadays. One is to cope with intermittent renewable generation. It's the most cost-effective way of doing it. It's much cost-effective than, for instance, storage. And the other one is to enable demand to participate in the markets, making energy markets more efficient.